What's up, E? Okay, so we got Elvie in the background here. Say hi, Elvie. Elvis is his name, but we call him Elvie. That's a little nickname. He's our baby. But anyway, today I am doing a review on The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. Now, these books, I'll just get it right off the bat, were so good. Excuse me, there is going to be spoilers in this video, just so you know. So, spoilers for The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood, and spoilers for Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. And Love on the Brain is a newer book. It just came out like a month or two ago. So, if you have not read these books, do not watch this video. Read them first, then come back to the video. But I recommend them, both of them. I gave The Love Hypothesis 4.5 stars, and I gave Love on the Brain 5 stars. I liked Love on the Brain better. So The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain, they are not like first book and sequel. They might be companions, I don't know. But they're both by Hazelwood, and they're both like science-y, women in STEM, romances, and I really liked both of them. But let's start with Love on the Brain, or Love, The Love Hypothesis, the first one. Okay, so just going through the basic, here, I'll read the back for you. When a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what's got her into the situation. Convincing Ann that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. The man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. So that's what the back says. So it starts off with a little prelude. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, a prologue. Where Olive is like in the bathroom. She's like in her last year of school, and she is going to go into academia in the STEM science realm. And she wants to like find a cure for some type of cancer. I forget which kind. I think like colon cancer or something. And then because her mom died of cancer, so she wants to find a cure for it. So she's been doing all these studies, writing stuff up, all that. Like, I'm not sciencey, so I don't know all the terms. And when I read them, I like glossed over them. I was like, I don't know what that means. So just keep it pushing. Sorry, I just woke up. I look a little puffy. Sorry. But anyway, she wears like one-day contacts, and like a contact gets stuck, and she like can't see, and then come to find out, Adam Carlson, but we don't know it's him yet, comes into the bathroom and like talks her through it, and like convinces her to go into academia, that she's great, all this stuff. Come to find out later, which it's like, it's not really a surprise, because like, of course, why would they put the prologue in there? Yeah, prologue. why would they put that prologue in there if it wasn't Adam Carlson, you know? But anyway, she decides, yeah, I like this guy, and I'm going to go into academia. Then she's dating a guy. I think his name's Jeremy. I don't know. She dates a guy, but then On likes Jeremy, I think his name is. I forget. I read this a while ago. But then On starts dating Jeremy, and Olive wants to pretend that she doesn't care, because she really doesn't. She's like, On, date him. Like, you're a better fit for him than I am. But On's not convinced that she's not over him. So she ends up kissing the first guy she sees, which is Adam Carlson, which is like way above her in her field. So I'm like, is there like an ethical boundary you're crossing? I guess not, but it's suspicious. But then she kisses Adam Carlson, and he's like, I don't remember consenting to this. And he's like, building up a Title IX case, I guess, but he doesn't really mind, so he's just kidding about it. But I'm like, that shit's serious. You don't want to joke around with that. But anyway, he, like, they end up fake dating. Like, he's like, well, I need somebody, to, like, see my family or whatever. Is that this book? I've read a few romances now, and I get them confused. Sorry. She does meet his family, and, they are like, we don't like her. No, is that this book? I don't think that's this book. I think that was boyfriend material. Sorry. But anyway, sorry. That's terrible. I'm sorry. This review kind of sucks. I'm sorry. But anyway, they fake date, and then they end up falling in love, and Adam's friend, who also works in science, I think his name's Tom. I don't remember. I think his name's Tom. And then it ends up that Tom is an evil little critter in the science field, and it's like, you're gonna fuck me, Olive, just like you fucked Adam, and that's the only way you can advance in this science field. And it's like all this drama, and then Adam finds out and like punches him, and he's like, oh hell no, you don't talk to her that way, all this shit. But anyway, the whole story, like from beginning to like 3/4 of the way in, is super PG, maybe PG-13, like just super like whatever. And then Adam and Olive have sex, and it's like, boom, spice. It's like, oh my god, I'm reading like X-rated scenes, and I was like, oh damn, this is some spice, which I don't mind, but it's like, I also like a cute romance. Like, I like something like gentle and like not so explicit. Like, I'm used to reading like gay romances, and a lot of times they're written by straight women, so straight women don't always like know what happens during gay sex, because they've never had like male to male gay sex. So they keep it kind of like, oh, you know, like blowjob, or he gently touched me and we had sex, and like they kind of allude to sex. But this was like, he stuck it in and like everything. So if spice makes you blush, you might want to skim over that part or not read this book. But if you like spice, this is a good book. But just so you know, it's like PG-13 up until the spice. The spice is like 1 or 2 chapters, and then it goes to back to like PG again. So yeah, I thought this was a good book. I gave it 4.5 stars just because I felt like the layout of the book, like with the prologue and then the book, and then it's like, oh, it's Adam Carlson. I felt like it was creative, and I appreciate that. It just wasn't it felt a little disjointed to me. I know not everybody agrees with that. And honestly, I can't imagine it a different way. I don't know. There was just some stuff that I was like, okay, like, let's get on with it. Like, the build up to all the fake dating was a little bit like, okay, well, like, we get it. They're gonna fall in love. I don't know. Love on the Brain is so much better. I felt like Love on the Brain was definitely a 5-star for me. All right, I'm done talking about the love hypothesis. Let's talk about Love on the Brain, because I just read this last week. So Love on the Brain is about, here, I'll read the back to you. B's theory was right. Forcing a scientist to work with her nemesis triggers explosive results. Like an avenging purple-haired Jedi bringing balance to the mansplained universe, B. Koingswasser, I can never pronounce her last name. I listened to the audiobook and read along. Her last name, that is in another language that I feel embarrassed trying to pronounce, so I'm just going to say B-K. BK. B-E-E, though, is her name, not B. Dot. Lives a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered Marie her dream neuroengineering project, she would accept without hesitation. Duh, but the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi has soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in his powerfully coated arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damseled in distress on her first day in the lab. But Levi made his feelings toward B clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best when employed with their own galaxies far, far away. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and B finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. Perhaps it's her occipital cortex playing tricks on her, but B could swear that she can see Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, devouring her with those eyes, and possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes to actually making a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What would BK do? So that's the back of Love on the Brain. I felt like this description on the back is a little dry for all the juiciness that happens in this book. So in the love hypothesis, I felt like Olive was a little bit like just basic, like not a lot to her. She was a little dry. And I think that's why I gave this book 4.5 stars. I liked it. I liked Adam better than Olive. That's why I gave it so high of a rating of 4.5. But I really liked B in this book. B is alternative. She has a septum piercing, which is like, I have a septum piercing. She dyes her hair like pink and purple. She's alternative. She is just a character. You know, I really appreciated that. And I'm like, oh, I love this. And then, what's his name? Levi is like so cool. He's so gorgeous. And, like, she thinks that he doesn't like her, but really he comes from a family that doesn't, like, express their emotions and stuff. So he doesn't know, like, how to, like, flirt with a girl or, like, build a relationship with someone or anything like that. So he, like, kind of, like, stiffens up when she's around because he does like her. So, but she takes that as he doesn't like her. He thinks she's ugly. He thinks she's too alternative, like, whatever. So he's like, okay, well, I actually like you, later in the book. And she's like, yeah, right. And, like, they go on this back and forth of, like, she can't believe that he likes her. And, yeah, it's just great. I really identify with B, even though I am a man and she is a woman. But I just identify with her. I can see myself in her, a lot more than I see myself in Olive. Olive's just, like, super smart, basic, like, just whatever. But B is like a character. Like, she has personality. She's alternative. I like her a lot. So the chapters are named in this book, not just one or two, and they're all like parts of the brain, and then a colon, and then like one word description of what happens in the chapter. So the first one is the habenula. Chapter 1, the habenula, disappointment. So it like kind of goes through the the parts of the brain and stuff. So I like B2 because she has a Twitter account called What Would Marie Do, talking about Marie Curie, and she really has like helped women in STEM like have an outlet for like problems they face, and like, you know, bringing together women and men who are in STEM. And like on this Twitter account, like she'll retweet people with their problems, and all these people respond, and she responds sometimes, but she keeps her identity to herself. Like, nobody knows it's her. And it's just great. It's a fun hobby. Like, I have a Twitter account. I love Twitter. So I thought that was cool. And then she likes cats, but doesn't own a cat. Her parents died when she was young. Her sister, like, travels all over the place, but she really wants to build roots and really wants to, like, stay in one place and, like, make something of her life. So I thought that was cool because I'm the same way. So she works at NASA for, like, this, like, neuroscience program that NASA's doing to like help astronauts and their brain. And like, I didn't really get like what they were doing. I was just like, she works at NASA, doing brain stuff, you know. Like, I'm not sciencey, I'm not like academic, so I'm like, I don't know, but I like this book. But anyway, there is a character called Trevor who ends up hacking her Twitter account and like posting on Marie Curie and like setting her up, and like tweets like some academic in the field, like someone in STEM, like, hey, I'll pay, if you pay me money, I'll like do this. And then like everybody like started blocking Marie Curie because they were like, we saw the email and you're just a fraud and we can't believe you betrayed us, because they're trying to make it so that nobody has to take like this expensive like standardized test to get into grad school. They think it should be free. So they're all trying to do that. Marie Curie, what would Marie Curie do is helping. B is helping. And then after that, like, people block her because they think that it has tainted the movement. But obviously Trevor hacked her account, and Trevor also took caffeine pills one day when they were testing out the brain monitor for the astronauts that B worked on, and like hacked her computer and like went in and changed stuff. So he ended up having a seizure when they're working on the project, and it made it seem like B was gonna get fired because she was in charge of like the brain activity and like triggers and stuff. But it ended up that Trevor hacked her computer and like fucked it all up. But yeah, so Trevor ends up like bringing a gun to NASA and like wants to kill her or some shit. I don't fucking know. But yeah, like, I was like, shook. I was like, oh my god, like, this is serious. But they end up arresting Trevor, and B gets to keep her job and ends up with Levi, and they live together, and it's just a wonderful little romance. I love this book. It's a contemporary romance, which I'm like, okay, this is gonna make me want to read more contemporary romances. Like, I love this book. Also, the spice in this book is different from the spice in The Love Hypothesis, because The Love Hypothesis, it's like 1 or 2 chapters of spicy sex. But this book, like, I was like blushing. I was like, oh my god, like, this is spicy. But again, like, it's PG-13 up until the spice. And then the spice is like super explicit. But it kind of lasts like in little chunks through a few chapters. There's one chapter in particular where I'm just going to be explicit. So if you don't like explicit, turn this off now. But this is in the book. I'm not making this up. So this isn't coming from me. This is coming from Miss Allie Hazelwood. So he like, she's like giving him a blowjob and he like comes in her mouth. And then he like holds her face and he's like, let me see it. Like, what? And then, oh, Mariah's at the door. Come in. I'm filming a review real quick, so 1 second. But yeah, it's explicit. But anyway, that is going to be my review for Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I recommend both of these books. I liked Love on the Brain a little bit more than the Love Hypothesis, but Love Theoretically, the third book, is coming out next year, and I will definitely be purchasing and reading. So I suggest you guys read these books and get Love Theoretically too, and we'll see which one is best. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you could, please. And have yourself a good day and read a book.